Welcome again to brandylibrary.tv, and this time for cognac, and not just any cognac, but Abecassis, Reviseur, Leyrat, 3 different estates, and Elodie Abecassis is here with us to talk about it.
Thank you.
All right, so Elodie, what's with those cognacs?
So we are producers of single estate cognac. So my father, Francis Abecassis, and myself, we own vineyards, and we're producing all the 3 cognacs on our 3 estates. So our main difference is that we're producing single estate cognac.
Mm-hmm.
We're really convinced that if you only take a cognac coming from one single estate, you have a cognac at the end that is inimitable in terms of aromas, in terms of intensity.
Something special instead of blending from many crus, from many sources.
Exactly. We do not buy to many producers. We only take what is produced on our estate.
That must be a big estate then.
So we have a 240 hectares estate located in 3 different locations.
That's quite a bit.
But we really decided to master each step of the production on the estate to really control the quality from the vineyard to the bottle, basically.
Very good. So then when you say 3 estates, if we have in mind the map of the cognac crus, then where are they located?
So we have 1 estate in Grande Champagne, we have 1 estate in Petite Champagne,
Mm-hmm.
and the 3rd one is in Fin-Bois.
All right.
But the 3 of them are really located on specific hills with a chalky soil
Mm-hmm.
and well exposed to the sun.
All right.
So that's the first important step, was the selection of the vineyards.
I remember Simon Palmer taking us on that top hill for Leyrat, where fantastic cognacs, I think, are produced. So then, which is which?
So then, just to present you a little bit, we have three different names because of the 3 different estates.
Mm-hmm.
So Leyrat, Cognac Leyrat here, is the one in Fin-Bois.
Mm-hmm.
Then, so we have a whole range here. Then we have Cognac Le Reviseur, which it comes from the estate in Petite Champagne.
All right.
And then we have Cognac Abecassis. So if you actually read some French, and if you read the name in French, it's ABK6, which is my last name written in
Mm-hmm.
full. So that's a
Fancy
name. And we have a whole range: BS, VSOP, and XO, and ABK6.
Usually, especially the big blenders, they are using a lot of Fin-Bois,
Yes.
but they don't like to say it. Why do you like to say it?
Why? The Cognac Leyrat is 100% Fin-Bois,
Mm-hmm.
and we say it because we really have a nice estate, a micro terroir. We could talk about this. Very hilly on a chalky place that has a typicity that
Mm-hmm.
we like to show to the people. And the typicity for all the Cognac Leyrat that you will find from the VS to the XO to the Extra is really the elegance. It's really a fine spirit, a fine cognac with a good lens, very elegant, and you will find some original aromas like the orange peels or a little bit citrusy, as well as sandalwood for the XOs,
Mm-hmm.
that are really typical of the estate, and that you will find in the VSOP and then in the different XOs. So you will recognize that they come from the same family, come from the same estate,
Mm-hmm.
but just you will see an evolution in with the age.
Is there anything different in between those estates?
So what we do is that we respect the terroir. So on each estate, everything is done on the estate. So first, the soil type typicity are a little bit different on each estate.
Mm-hmm.
But then what we do is that we adapt the vinification method or the distillation method and then the aging to the estates.
I see.
So to really extract the best of the terroir initially. In general, we all our vines are planted with high density.
Mm-hmm.
We use small pot stills. So during the traditional double distillation methods, we use small pot stills of maximum 2,500 hectoliters
Mm-hmm.
for both the first and the second distillation, for both distillations. And then in terms of aging, we use French oak from the Limousin,
Mm-hmm.
and we buy every year new oak. So that part of the cognac are aged in new oak, and part of them are aged in used oak.
I see. But for example, is it the same kind of barrel that will be used in all three estates, or will there be a toasting applied differently to some barrels that are, say, destined to Leyrat or for Abecassis?
Right. Actually, the Reviseur estate is located in Petite Champagne and has a typicity that is more powerful, with a lot of aromas, quite fruit forward, and with a lot of spices as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we use mainly new oak.
I see.
Medium toasted. Whereas for Leyrat, we used mostly used oak, because we take the time to age them, and it needs to be a long, smooth aging.
Mm-hmm.
So it's better for this estate and these characteristics to use used oak rather than new oak for the Reviseur.
I see.
So that's the kind of adaptation that we are able to do.
Well, I have the feeling that we should get tasting.
So this VS, so it's 100% Uni Blanc.
Mm-hmm.
It comes only from the Petite Champagne estate, and we have done all the productions on the estate. So we have grown the vineyard, the vines, we have made the wine, done the distillation, and aged in barrels. All our cognacs are aged a little bit more than the legal minimum required.
Mm-hmm. So, for example, this VS, how old is it?
This VS is a minimum of 3 years, and it goes actually up to 6 years.
It's very floral, very aromatic.
Yes, you really have the plums mostly on the nose. It's very powerful in terms of aromas without being aggressive. So you have a lot of plums, almonds.
Yeah, for a young cognac, it's not harsh at all.
No, it's really our objective. We are trying to make the most of the aromas, but without having the alcohol too strongly. Then on the palate, we have some almonds as well, and a lot of aromas. Nice finish.
Lovely. Yeah, it doesn't fall short.
Right.
It's actually quite young. Again, I mean, it's long for a young cognac.
For a young cognac, exactly. And the typicity of the whole Reviseur range that you actually see from the VS, then that you will see in the VSOP and the XO, is that it's really round and powerful on the fruits and the spices that you have here in this VS.
Very good. All right, what is next then?
So next we will switch to another estate so that you can compare the differences of typicities between one estate and the other.
Mm-hmm.
So we will switch to Leyrat estate, and we have the EXO of Leyrat estate. So it's EXO Reviseur.
So now, does that mean that there is, because we're familiar with the 6-year-old and the 8-year-old,
right?
Where is this compared to them?
Much older, actually. This EXO, the minimum age entering into this EXO is 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same. You'll find the same aromas at the beginning, but then you have more length and it will stay longer in the palates.
Mm-hmm. Now, thank you. And is there anything different when it comes to the wines being fermented? Are you distilling on the lees? Do you promote different kind of variations, or is it just a very simple fermentation, and as soon as it's fermented, then the distillation on the clear wine? Or
it actually depends on the estate. Definitely, we will adapt the method to the estate characteristic. So on the Reviseur estate, we have some lees, whereas on Leyrat, we don't use that.
I see.
So you see the Leyrat estate. So you see right on the nose, you have a difference between the Reviseur and Leyrat.
Yeah, very different.
Leyrat characteristics. So Leyrat, it's from Framboise only.
Gorgeous nose.
The color is really, it's a light gold, golden amber, completely natural, no addition of caramel in the Leyrat. So you have mostly some citrus notes as well as orange peels in the nose.
Very elegant.
And on the palate, you have an explosion of flavors.
Yeah.
So you have some sandalwood notes.
Yeah, you've got those wood notes, but it remains fresh. It remains fruity.
Yes, it is. You see some floral notes as well, which are really characteristic of the Leyrat estates.
Mm.
And it's not heavy in oak. You're right. It's just a light, right?
No, it's delicate.
Very delicate, very fine, very elegant. With a long finish, it stays a long time.